Welcome back to another week of small groups where we're talking about the 40 Days of Purpose and Rick Warren's book, Purpose Driven Life. This Sunday's sermon was all about fishing and how Jesus has called us to go fishing. That's our mission as Christians. We're called to go and be fishers of men. Jim talked about how we can't catch fish here. We have to go out into the world to go do so. And we have to lower our nets, meaning we have to meet people where they are, and it's really our mission to go out and reach the world. Sunday's reading is all about mission, and that's our first day's reading for this week. And God has called us to be on mission for something. We're all called to be on a mission. We're called to continue Jesus' mission in the world and pick up where he left off. We are called to go and make disciples. Monday's reading is all about sharing your life's message, your testimony. God has given you a testimony with the things he's made you passionate about, the ways he's helped you get through tough times, the things that you feel called to do in your story and who you are and who you've become. The key to talking to people about Jesus is to not push for a response, just to tell your story, why you do what you do, why you are passionate about the things you're passionate about, and then just listen. If you live a life that is different, that is dedicated to a greater purpose, people are going to notice, and it is contagious. On Tuesday, the reading was about taking your faith seriously, and he starts with making you think about your faith. Does your faith center around you or God? Is your faith about me first, about my needs, about my happiness, or is your faith bigger than that? In order to take our faith seriously, we need to shift from our self-centered prayers and self-centered faith to a faith that is a different way of thinking, meaning we're focused on what God is doing around us in the world and the concerns of other people and how we can be of service to them. This shift might make your prayers sound more like, God, show me how I can help. Wednesday through Thursday's readings is all about living a life of balance and purpose. And during these 40 days of purpose, we've been talking about worship and discipleship, fellowship, ministry, and then now we're talking about missions. All of these things are part of your calling and all have a part in your purpose. And our goal is to find out how we fit into each one of these areas. It's not that your calling is one of them. Your calling is all of these areas. You have a purpose in all 5 of these different areas. And our goal is to try and find out how we fit into each one of them. During Wednesday and Thursday's readings, you wrestled with these 5 purposes and even asked yourself questions about each purpose. For worship, we need to ask ourselves, what is the center of my life? For discipleship, we need to ask ourselves, what is the character of my life? For ministry, we need to ask ourselves, what is the contribution of my life? For fellowship, we need to ask, what will my community look like? And then finally, we need to ask ourselves, what will my mission be? All of these questions are ones we need to ask ourselves, and the book is asking them for us, but also we need to ask ourselves how we want to fit into each one of these purposes for our life and how they fulfill the bigger purpose of what God has called us into. And so these last couple sessions talk about how to avoid envy and people pleasing, 2 areas that can kind of take away a lot of our purpose. You have a call to your purpose. God has made you the way that you are, and you can't compare yourself to others, and you can't let people pleasing and pleasing other people around you keep you from doing what God has called you to do. It is your life to live. God has called you to it, and you have to make those decisions for yourself. All of these questions are great for us to ask ourselves. They're great for us to ask in our small groups and our churches and all of the places where we find community. We all have a purpose, and all of these purposes of our lives can give us fulfillment and joy, and if we let them be a part of who we are.